What if I told you that the earliest depictions of Jesus Christ in art are not exactly as you might imagine? A bit of a conundrum, isn't it? The first portrayals of Jesus Christ in art are shrouded in mystery, a tapestry woven with threads of cultural, regional, and religious influences. Unlike the standardized image that we are all familiar with today, the early depictions of Jesus varied widely, reflecting the diverse interpretations and understandings of the time. This lack of a uniform image of Jesus in early Christian art might seem puzzling. After all, wouldn't you expect a consistent representation of such a pivotal figure in religious history? Yet the New Testament offers no physical description of Jesus, leaving artists with a blank canvas on which to paint their interpretations. In the absence of explicit descriptions, early Christian artists turned to the world around them for inspiration. They took cues from their cultural and regional backgrounds, leading to a rich diversity of depictions. From the beardless shepherd of the catacombs of Rome to the majestic and imperial figure portrayed in the mosaics of Ravenna, the early images of Jesus mirror the myriad facets of human understanding and perception. Furthermore, the early Christians did not create these images in a vacuum. They were influenced by the artistic traditions of their time, often borrowing elements from Roman, Greek, and even Egyptian art. This amalgamation of artistic styles resulted in unique and varied portrayals of Jesus, each rendition telling its own story about the people who created it and the era in which they lived. So the first depictions of Jesus are not just pieces of art, they are historical artifacts, a testament to the evolution of religious thought and artistic expression. They invite us to look beyond the canvas, to delve into the complexities of history, culture, and faith that shaped these images. So let's journey back in time to uncover the evolution of Jesus Christ's depiction in art. The earliest Christian art dates back to the 2nd to 4th century AD, a time when Christians were persecuted and their religion was illegal. Yet, amidst the shadows of clandestine worship, the creative spirit of the faithful persevered, giving rise to a rich tapestry of symbolic and narrative artistry. In these early days, Christianity was a religion of symbols. The human depiction of Jesus as we know him today was not yet a common practice. Instead, the faithful relied on a series of metaphors and symbols to represent their savior. One of the most prevalent symbols was the ichthys, or fish, derived from an acronym of the Greek phrase, Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. The fish became a secret sign, a way for Christians to identify each other without attracting the attention of their persecutors. But the fish was not alone in this symbolic representation. The lamb, a symbol of innocence and sacrifice, was another commonly used metaphor for Jesus. It was a nod to the sacrificial nature of Christ's death on the cross, a cornerstone of Christian belief. And then there was the Good Shepherd. This emblem, rooted in the parables of Jesus himself, represented the care and guidance that Christ offered his followers. The shepherd was a symbol of Jesus' role as a spiritual guide, leading his flock through the trials and tribulations of life. These symbols, while they may seem simplistic to our modern eyes, were deeply coded messages of faith and resilience. They were the language of a community under siege, a beacon of hope in a time of darkness. Christian art in these early centuries was not about creating a physical likeness of Jesus. It was about conveying his teachings, his essence. It was about encapsulating the message of Christ's love and sacrifice, and communicating this message to a community in desperate need of hope and guidance. Indeed, the early Christian art was more about conveying the teachings of Christ than depicting his physical form. It was not until the 4th century AD, after the legalization of Christianity, that Jesus began to appear in human form in art. Venture with me now into the dimly lit catacombs of Rome, where we find the earliest surviving Christian paintings. Here, in this underground sanctuary, the sacred stories of faith were told not through words, but through vivid images on stone. In these early depictions, a striking image emerges. Jesus, portrayed not as the familiar bearded figure of later centuries, but as a youthful, beardless figure. His appearance bears a striking resemblance to the popular images of pagan gods of the time, such as Apollo or Orpheus. Why, you might ask? Well, it was a time of transition. Christianity was emerging from the shadows of persecution and stepping into the light of acceptance. The early artists of the faith were grappling with how to represent the divine in a way that would be both familiar and appealing to their audience. By drawing upon familiar imagery from the surrounding culture, they were able to make the concept of Jesus tangible, accessible, and relatable to the common people. It's fascinating to see how the divine was translated into human form, isn't it? These early depictions of Jesus weren't just works of art, they were tools of communication and connection. They helped people to visualize and connect with the divine in a way that was meaningful to them. And so, in the catacombs of Rome, amidst the flickering candlelight, we find the origins of our modern images of Jesus. A young, beardless figure, not distant and aloof, but approachable, relatable, and deeply human. These earliest human portrayals of Jesus reveal how art was used to make the divine relatable to the common people. As Christianity spread, the image of Jesus evolved, influenced by cultural, political, and theological changes. In the early 5th century, we begin to see a shift in the way Jesus was portrayed in art. The youthful shepherd-like figure of the previous centuries matured into a more robust, bearded figure. This change was not random, nor was it quick. This evolution was a gradual process that reflected the steady transformation of the Christian faith and its followers over the centuries. One of the most influential periods for the evolution of Jesus' image was during the reign of the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantines, known for their rich and elaborate art, left an indelible mark on the portrayal of Jesus. They crafted images that were not only visually striking, but also laden with deep theological significance. One of the most iconic images from this period is the Christ Pantocrator. This image depicts Jesus as a stern, all-powerful ruler of the universe, which is a stark contrast from the humble shepherd of the earlier depictions. The Christ Pantocrator is not just a portrayal of Jesus, it's a statement of faith, a declaration of the divine authority of Christ. This evolution of Jesus' image wasn't just about aesthetics, it was a reflection of the evolving beliefs, values, and aspirations of the Christians. The image of Jesus became a mirror of the society that worshipped him. As the followers of Christianity grew in numbers and influence, so did their desire for a more commanding, authoritative figure of Christ. And so the image of Jesus evolved, from a humble shepherd to a mighty ruler, from a young man to a mature figure with a beard. This evolution tells us a lot about the journey of Christianity, about the trials and tribulations of its followers, and about the changing face of a religion that has shaped the course of human history. Through these evolving depictions, we see not just the changing face of Jesus, but the changing face of a religion and its followers. So what can we learn from these earliest depictions of Jesus in art? As we journeyed through the course of this video, we delved into the fascinating realm of early Christian art. It was a time when the image of Jesus was not uniform, a testament to the diverse interpretations of the divine. The symbolic nature of these early depictions, often shrouded in metaphor and allegory, served as a means for the early Christians to convey their faith and devotion. From the shepherd to the fish, these symbols were more than just artistic choices. They were reflections of a culture and belief system in its infancy. As we moved forward, we witnessed the emergence of the human form in the portrayal of Jesus. This shift marked a significant point in the evolution of Christian art. It was a transition from exclusively symbolic representations to personalized, humanized images of the divine. This change in depiction speaks volumes about the evolving understanding and interpretation of Jesus by the early Christians. We also explored the evolution of Jesus' image over time, a compelling narrative of changing perceptions and artistic styles. From the beardless youth to the familiar bearded figure, each portrayal of Jesus carried its own unique message and interpretation. The evolution of these images is not merely a reflection of artistic trends, but a mirror to the changing dynamics of faith, society, and culture. Reflecting on these depictions, they tell us a great deal about the early Christians and their world. They reveal a society in flux, a faith taking shape, and a community searching for ways to represent their spiritual beliefs in visual form. In the end, these early depictions of Jesus are not just works of art, but historical documents that offer a fascinating glimpse into the birth and growth of a religion. They remind us that, in art as in faith, perception is as powerful as reality.